Okay, so now we're playing around with OpenSUSE, and I think the regular SUSE you have to pay for. A lot of it's like basically set up for like servers and stuff like that. Let's see. I'm just kind of taking a look here. There's the README, the documentation, software. Okay. All right. So it just kind of goes over some basic stuff here. It's talking about the repositories. You may run across community-provided repositories. While we do not manually vet community repositories, they have built their software against the latest version of OpenSUSE and should work. Okay. Okay. Documentation. So I just want to take a look at this. I've never ever played around with this one that I'm aware of. Maybe I did, but it didn't work real good back in the day. Hard to say. So this is kind of it's like a privacy notice. And I think these can be installed different ways, like with or without. Let me go minimize this. What is it showing me here? Python 3.0. Okay. I'm not sure what we got on here. But so I guess you just click down here, it'll be like all your apps are gonna be here. Almost kind of in a Windows 10 type format. Your favorites, all applications, development, education, games, graphics. I added some stuff here, so we got Blender, we got GIMP. Let's see. We've got Amarok. We've got a guitar program at OBS Studio. We got Hydrogen. We got K3B, Caffeine Player, Caden Live. I don't know what Meter Bridge is. We got OBS Studio. Rhythm Box, a bunch of different stuff. Video trimmer, VLC media player. I mean, like, we got everything. So system monitor. Let's take a look and see what that does. Have a look here. Okay, so it shows our CPU is pretty low, our memory is pretty low. Let's see if it shows the total usage. Not really. Processes. Okay. This is no, pretty Windows friendly. As far as, like, you know, coming from Windows to this. You get your system menu, utilities. So let's see if I want to. What's this? Desktop 1, system settings. There's the software center. Now, I don't know if this is just SUSE's software center. It's kind of got like this gnome foot on it. I'm not sure why it's not opening. Kind of laggy there. Okay. I want to look and see if this thing called the Same Boy is on here, because the kids have been using that. It's a video game emulator. and I found it on one of the versions of Linux somewhere. We'll look up emulator. Okay. Guess we have to enter it. Dolphin, GameCube, Wii, Triforce emulator. That's cool. Let's get that. Super Nintendo emulator. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. N64 emulator. PlayStation emulator. Nintendo Game Boy Advance emulator. Commodore 64 emulator. Okay. Atari 2600. Nintendo DS. Video game. Let's see. Virtual Visual Boy Advance. Okay. Nintendo Switch emulator. Fuse. Sega Dreamcast emulator. So what I'm noticing too is all these are all PlayStation emulator. PlayStation 2 emulator. I wonder why sometimes it asks for the password and not always. And it's like, I don't like that. Okay. 3DS emulator. I'm just gonna download them all because I'm gonna try them all out. Maybe we'll do a video on that. Original Xbox emulator. Now that is freaking cool. Okay. So PlayStation 3 emulator. Now, does that mean I can figure out ways to do this and put stuff on my PS3, PS2? Well, we got a PS2 that needs to be fixed. But anyway, yeah, totally cool. We got the NES emulator, Nestopia. Sega. There is way just too much in here, man. I had no idea there was. There it is. So why was it when I typed in Same Boy, the damn thing didn't come up? Interesting. So yeah, that's the Same Boy. Now I'm gonna need to figure out what controller might actually work with this. And then I've got to figure out which ones might work with Windows. So this is cool. I didn't think I would find that much on here. No, I'm not into gaming per se, really. I just kind of like some of the stuff I used to like when I was a kid. But my kids are getting into video games and stuff, so I'm trying to learn about this stuff. And some of the guys on the channel, know quite a bit about this. And, I wouldn't even be going in this direction if it wasn't for some of you guys on the channel, too, because, you've sort of mentioned things, and I'm like, oh, well, how do you do that? And then you're like, oh, that's easy. I'm like, okay. So anyway, I'm just having fun with the different Linux distros, and so far I think suse, OpenSUSE, is the only one I've run across that's really like, okay, this might be good. So I'm gonna get this stuff going. We have some errors. I think that maybe I've already tried to do some of this before, and I run into some errors on this one. Well, let me just wait this out, and we'll see like how much of this actually installs. Okay. Because I have a feeling we're gonna have a problem. We like apparently multiple errors. 1 and 2. Okay. So we have 5 errors. There's tasks down here. It says 17%, 18%. It's moving fairly quickly, whatever it's doing, but I'm not really able to see what's going on. We have another error. I can't really see. Maybe if I click installed. We do also have some updates that need to happen. We'll try and do that. Let's see. I probably need to go into also. There's another error. Check out and see if I can like put it in performance mode, where things will be better. Because I am asking it to do quite a bit, but I want to kind of just because I'm impatient, so I want to kind of load it up with stuff and see, well, how's it going to behave, are these errors related to that? We're at 92% down here, so these are mostly done. That one's done. It should probably finish pretty quickly. I haven't got a chance to try OBS. I'll probably hook a camera up over here and a microphone and maybe film. I don't know what that is. Okay, so it wants to refresh from one of the ones they already just installed, which is interesting. Fetching updates. We'll wait and see what it does. Okay, so we got an error. Aborted due to failure when pulling runtime org platform from remote Flatpak. Okay. Let's just see what we have for installed. Just see what it shows. So some of these would have already been on here. I really don't know what some of these are actually. I think, but most of what I tried to install didn't make it. Let's go over to games. Where did I just seen it? No, it's card games. Wait. Okay. Super Nintendo. Is that gonna launch it? I don't know. Now, keep in mind, I'm also using the old hard drive here. So, it just completely doesn't want to do anything for that. So, I'm not going to worry about that for right now. I'm going to go down here and we'll see what we have for our games. Okay. We need a Dolphin Wii emulator. Here's 3DS emulator, PlayStation 2 emulator. Let's start with that one, I guess. I'm guessing if I had like a USB PlayStation emulator, or a USB PlayStation controller, I probably could use it. Okay. Okay, let me see something here. Okay, so what it says is, for legal reasons, you must obtain a BIOS from an actual PS2 unit that you own. Once dumped, the BIOS image should be placed in the BIOS folder within the data directory shown below. Or you can instruct PCSX2 to scan an alternative directory. A guide for dumping your BIOS can be found here. Okay, so I have one. Boy, this is another rabbit hole I'm not ready to go down right now. I just want to look at this really fast. Okay, in order for PES2 to function properly, both the legitimate BIOS and copy of games must be obtained from your own PlayStation 2 console and original PS2 discs, respectively. Okay. The following explains the recommended way to accomplish both of these tasks. It's conceptually a two-step process. Modify the operation of your PS2 so that it can run any program. Then you can run a BIOS dumper utility program on your PS2 that reads its BIOS and writes it to a USB drive. Okay, cool. I've heard about that. There's generally a useful program, Launch Elf, that lets you browse the memory cards, DVDs, and USB drives connected to the PS2 and run the program for them. So for most of the approaches, you will use that to run the BIOS dumper. Okay. Let's click on that, see if we can find it. Copy. Okay. This is why I say this is a rabbit hole. So it's right here. And then we're going to have to read a bunch of stuff on that. But I want to go further down here. Popular approaches. Free boot memory card. Fortuna memory card. Works for the newest serial number. Okay. Disk swap exploits. Mod chips. Okay. And download. Okay. Alright. So this is going to be another project for another time. Cool stuff, though. So let's go ahead and close that up. We don't need to worry about that one. Let's see what else we got. We got the Dolphin emulator. We'll start with that one first. I'm gonna say no. Controllers, graphics. That's cool. So I don't. Wow. There's some really interesting stuff here. Okay. I'm not gonna spend too much time on that. I'll try it later. The Duck Station. This is another PS2. Okay, this wizard will guide you through the configuration required to use this application. To check for updates. Okay. Next. Duck Station requires PS1 or PS2 BIOS in order to run. For legal reasons, you must obtain. Okay, so this is the same thing. So we can't do anything with those ones yet. Okay. We got Flycast. Okay. Okay, so we need probably BIOS for that one too. Okay. Card games. This is definitely probably going to be on the technical side of things. Load a file, install a file, boot home, emulation. Okay, so let me see if I can go in here. 3DS ROM. Let's just see what we get. See if the one from the one I was using. Okay. So emulator games is the one that I know I've used before. We only have one. Well, let's just click it and try it. Mario Golf World Tour. Okay. Now some of theirs I've noticed they don't download. And this one's gonna take 44 minutes. We'll go up here and try some other ones. Let's take a look at what they say on Reddit. See, here we go in a rabbit hole. Basically, PlayStation broke. Decided to start playing ROMs on my phone again. Any recommendations for 3DS games? Okay. No idea what the hell am I looking at. My Rient. Okay. Where are we supposed to figure out what the hell these are? Okay, so what it looks like is there's files. They're Nintendo 3DS decrypted. So apparently it could be quite complicated with some of these. I like these Angry Birds games. I want to see. Does it just start downloading? It does. Okay. Wait. Let's go ahead and delete that one. Alright. Angry Birds Star Wars USA. Because these other ones could be in different languages. It looks like they're all the same though. They all say English, French, Spain, PT. I don't know. Angry Bird Trilogy. So Angry Birds Star Wars and Trilogy. So there's like a lot of stuff here. Let me get back in a second. I was wondering if this was gonna happen. Your home folder is running out of space. Let's file manager. Okay. I don't know what to do on that. So I probably have to remove some stuff. Alright, so I've tried to open the thing, but what's this? Browse Pug Game Lobby. Interesting. So when I click load file, it doesn't do anything. Maybe connect to Arctic base. I don't know what these things are. Okay, I just thought it would be like the Same Boy one where you just click and So there are files in there, but it doesn't see them, so they must not be the right kind. Okay. Alright, we know we're running out of space, so I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of some of these. Interesting. I think a couple of these are still trying to download too. Well, that one failed. Okay. Okay. Alright. So that's the only one I think that might actually be good. Anyway, guys, that's it for me on this one here. I'm gonna let it finish out. It obviously seems like a decent operating system. A lot of this stuff here has nothing to do with OpenSUSE.